Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on Project Hail Mary, which was directed by Chris Miller and Phil Lord. I wanted to say Chris Lord and Phil Miller. It's not them. Definitely not them. It's starring Ryan Gosling and Ricky Ortiz? Was that his name? James Ortiz. Who the fuck is Ricky? Oh, Rocky. Yes. Okay.
That's Rocky's brother, Ricky.
It was written by Drew Goddard based on the novel by Andy Weir, who is also, if you recognize that name, the author of The Martian. Similar kind of plot here, maybe. I don't know. Although I did read, which doesn't surprise me at all, the book is a lot more serious than this movie. You know, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are known for their comedy, and of course they had to do comedy in this, and I don't blame them, because it was funny. So if you don't know what this movie is, though, it follows a doctor of sorts turned school teacher, scientist guy, Ryan Gosling, scientist man Ryan Gosling, who goes to space to try to save the world and possibly the universe from some sort of thing that seems to be destroying the sun. And then, yeah, it's not really a spoiler. People are acting like it is, but it's right there in the trailer, and it gets revealed half an hour into the movie. He meets an alien. If that's a spoiler to you, sorry, it's in the trailer.
Yep,
So,
yep.
Is it even in the plot line? Let's see what it says. Science teacher Ryland Grace wakes up alone on a spaceship light years from Earth. As his memory returns, he uncovers a mission to stop a mysterious substance killing the sun and save Earth. An unexpected friendship may be the key. Ooh, what could that be in outer space?
Hey, it could have been anything.
Could have been anything. Visually, this movie is fantastic. I will say they clearly were fans of Interstellar and 2001: A Space Odyssey, as well as some other science fiction space movies. But certainly, a lot of those two was in this movie. Great to see Chris Miller and Phil Lord. I keep wanting to switch their last names.
Might as well.
It's great to see them back in the saddle, because they've been stuck producing for a while and haven't actually made their own movie in a while. So, you know who they are?
I definitely know the names, and I'm sure I've seen stuff of theirs. But...
21, 22 Jump Street, the Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They helped make Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think they directed it. I think they just produced it. Basically, they had a flawless track record. So coming into this, I was crossing my fingers going, please, guys, don't mess it up. You guys... You took a while away, took a bit away, took a sabbatical, and I was like, please don't ruin it when you come back. And, well, did they ruin it, Justin?
Listen. I can't say they ruined it. I enjoyed this very much.
Oh, yeah. This movie was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, is it their best movie? That's debatable. They've made some really good movies. I mean, come on. 22 Jump Street's hard to beat. That movie is phenomenal. I mean, the Lego Movie, too. It's hard to beat that. So it's like, is it their best movie? I don't even want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that this movie was a lot of fun, and I was happy to see them again. Like I did say, if you are a fan of the book, which I know some people who are, haven't talked to them about the movie yet, because none of them have seen it yet, as far as I know. I don't know how fans of the book will react to the adaptation, because having read, like I said, it's a lot funnier than the book was. I assume the book is much more similar to The Martian in tone, and this one spices it up with some slapstick and some silly Ryan Gosling style humor as well. I could see some fans of the book being annoyed by that, therefore. But I mean, as somebody who didn't read the book, I had a good time with it.
Honestly, is any fan of the original source material a fan of the adaptation? It's pretty rare. It's never a good idea to go
Lord of the
direction.
Rings. Actually, I know a lot of Lord of the Rings book fans who don't like the movies.
Yeah, I've heard of them too. I don't know any of them, but I've heard of them.
They're great, though. I prefer the movies, if I'm being honest. The Prestige movie is fundamentally better than the book in every way, but I guess if you're a fan of the book, then you'd probably be pissed by the movie.
I guess I haven't read the book, so,
It's not very good.
Didn't even know there was one.
It's not great. I forget what director said it, but some filmmaker once said, like, somebody asked them, because they were adapting some book into a movie, and they said, oh, is the book good? And he said, oh, hell no, of course not. You don't adapt good books into movies, you adapt bad books with good ideas into movies, because then nobody will complain when you make it way better. And it's like, yeah, that's what Nolan did with The Prestige. Absolutely. I don't think anybody knew what that movie or that book was.
Nope.
Until he made the movie. It's
Still
so
don't.
much better.
Even after the movie, they still don't know what that book was. They just know the movie.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, this movie definitely... I think there's a couple of moments that it undercut what could have been a very good serious moment with some comedy, but I rarely was distracted by that, like once or twice maybe. And the comedy was definitely good. I always thought it was funny. There was just a couple of times I was like, that could have packed a little bit more of a punch if they took it seriously, but I'm really not complaining about it. I enjoyed it, and I think not only because it was funny, I enjoyed it, but there were several also emotional and serious moments that did cut through the comedy as well. There was a good balance, I think.
No, I definitely didn't quite expect all the emotional beats. You kind of expect a few of them from the plot that we know of from the
And the
movie
fact that
already.
it's a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
You can't have a 2.5-hour comedy.
Yeah, of course you can. But, like, we've got a couple of main characters here.
Mm-hmm.
You never expect much to happen to main characters. You never expect true turmoil or true anything to stick in the end. And honestly...
He's a rock. He's not a stick.
There we go. Honestly, they stuck to the emotional beats, didn't really cheapen out on them at all.
Yeah.
No marveling over here.
Yeah, I mean, there's also not even just the main characters, but there's some tertiary characters that, like, their backstories become compelling as it goes because this movie's, like, half flashbacks.
Yeah, and I didn't expect it to be told in flashbacks.
Yeah.
I expected to see that pretty linearly.
That was a decision I legitimately hated for the first half of the movie, and then the second half of the movie made me grow to love it. And I was like, that's why they did it, because it made the ending so much better the way they told it.
Yeah, I agree. It was not my favorite at the beginning, but I did really
I
enjoy
really
it
was like, they should not have done this. They should have cut all of this. This is all pointless. And then it took a turn, and I was like, okay, they were right. And then, this was a good decision.
And then the big reveal that I'm sure we're both talking about from that.
A couple of them.
I very much feel like I should have seen that coming. And I was questioning it, towards the beginning of the movie.
Sure.
But I got very distracted by Rocky. Just forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to be distracted by. Similar note, but different take here. So, speaking of a lot of things happening, early on, I feel like there was an extra, 20 minutes that were cut from this movie, because I kept noticing, I was like, there was some weird editing, I felt like, early on. And then that reminded me, I was like, I thought I heard early in production, or not early in production, but, early in the marketing, that this movie was going to be, 4 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, no, it's not. There's no way. Maybe it was exaggerated, and it was actually, 3 hours, and they cut it down to 2.5, because I was like, It didn't continue into the second half of the movie, but I think maybe a studio executive was like, we got to speed up the beginning of this. We don't need all of these details. Because there was some stuff early in the movie where I was like, I feel like we skipped something here. It just felt a little off. But then once it got going, that went away. So
things line up. We don't need anything further than that.
Yeah, dude, though, going back to the 2001 of it all, though, he put on the red spacesuit that's got the same fucking helmet and everything. I was just like, it's 2001. And then, he's nervous to go out, so he breathes really heavily and shakily for his first breath in the helmet. And it sounded so much like 2001 as well. I was just like, this has to be on purpose, guys.
Almost
has
certainly.
to be.
You have to reference all the great space movies that came before you.
Oh, of course.
Yours.
Yeah.
It's mandatory.
Yeah. You gotta make stuff look vaguely like Interstellar.
Yeah.
Oh, they did a lot of spinning shots. Let's do those
course.
spinning shots too. Also, I mean, even the way that he and the robot talk to each other pre-Rocky, because he kind of stopped talking to the computer once Rocky came around.
Yeah.
But
that was a little less of a trio than I thought it would be.
That was very Interstellar-ish as well, with him and his robot, it kind of felt like. Even Rocky kind of reminded me of Tars? Is that the name of the robot? Whatever his name is. But speaking of Rocky, though, so obviously he names him Rocky because he's made of rock, but also it becomes a through line that, clearly they watched the Rocky movie together.
Yep.
Because then they talk about Adrian as well, and it's like, oh, I'm Rocky, not from the movie, but because I'm Rock, or whatever.
Well, I'm not sure they watched it, but he definitely told them about it.
Yeah, but it confused me because, there's a little montage where you see, in the background, half a second of Rocky's face being pummeled, and I was just like, I felt like we could have made a scene out of them watching this together, right? Like, it just felt like that was something we skimmed over, but...
Would have been more interesting to have that, but...
yeah. It's hard to complain that you want more when the movie's 2.5 hours long.
Listen, we got the line of...
I want the 4-hour cut.
What was it? In the third one, he gets trained by Apollo, and then in the seventh one, he trains Apollo's kid or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's the third one he gets trained.
That's our explanation. That's our whole Rocky explanation there.
You know, I never saw Rocky 3. I saw Rocky 1. I saw Rocky 2. Actually, I saw Rocky 2 first. I don't know how the fuck that happened. I saw Rocky 2. I saw Rocky 1. I knew the storyline from the following Rockies, and I just skipped them.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I watched the Creeds.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's fine. You could probably throw in Rocky Balboa. I've never seen it, but I've seen a lot of clips. It's fine. But, like, all you need to know is that Creed Apollo dies. That's all you need to know from those movies. You don't need to actually watch them. And I mean, even if not, you kind of get that from the dialogue in Creed. So I don't know.
Yeah, that'll clue you in. Because I think I've only seen the first one and parts of the other ones, and I just know their storylines because they've been talked about for years.
I guess Rocky 3 is when Apollo and Rocky actually become friends, because they still are enemies in the second one, I guess. So I don't know.
So they gotta have that bro-ship.
Oh, that's not them. Are you talking about that thing? That's not them.
Can I dream? I didn't see the movie.
That's from Predator, I think. Yeah, that's Predator. That's Arnold and what's his name?
I didn't see.
Is that Carl Weathers? Actually, now that I think about it, it might be Carl Weathers, but it's not Sylvester.
well, listen, I hate to say y'all.
Who's the
alike,
black guy in Predator? I need to look up Predator. It is Carl Weathers. Now I need to check. Carl Weathers was in Rocky, right? That's who yeah, it's Apollo. Okay. I am not racist.
I'm only towards the west.
What were we talking about? Did we watch a movie?
We were talking about the Rocky connection.
Crazy. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like we should probably get into spoilers pretty soon, but clearly we both liked it. This is a crowd pleaser. This is one of those movies that everybody's going to love, and then everybody's going to say, this is going to win so many Oscars, but it's so early in the year that by the time the Oscars come around, it won't get a single nomination, and everybody will be like, why did it get any nominations? Like, because you put it out in fucking March for some reason.
Yeah,
This is such a July movie if I ever saw one.
It's a little early for a movie that's clearly, like, they think is going to be like a blockbuster of the year.
Right. Like, clearly the studio didn't have a lot of faith in this movie for some reason, and I can't figure out why.
I mean, it's crazy considering I see posters at basically every single IMAX theater, considering it's like made for IMAX.
Well, I mean, I guess this movie, this year's there's going to be a lot of competition this summer. We've got The Odyssey, is Dune coming out in the summer?
I think it's December. I think it's the same. I think Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, and Dune 3 are coming out on the same day at the end of the year.
And so we've got Spider-Man in the summer, though, then, right? So this summer we've got Disclosure Day, we've got Toy Story 5, we've got Supergirl, we've got The Odyssey, we've got Spider-Man. Yeah, that's pretty much the summer. And that's it would be tough to fit in there. I think they could have, but that's a pretty packed schedule for the summer. I feel like they should have, though. I think they could beat out a couple of those. Honestly, I mean, like, put this up against Disclosure Day. I know Disclosure Day is Spielberg, but, like, I think Ryan Gosling's got more of a pull than Spielberg at this point. Maybe not.
It depends on, I guess, what Spielberg's doing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Disclosure Day is more of... Like, that's going to be, like, movie buff people. I don't know that a lot of your average people are going to want to go see that. But we're off topic. They should have put this out in the summer, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, obviously you're going to lose to The Odyssey. Obviously you're going to lose to Marvel, whatever Marvel it is. Not at this point, but like Spider-Man and Avengers, you're going to lose to.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that. Just avoid those movies and you're good. So, I mean, I don't know. Put this out in August, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
I don't get it. They should have. I don't know. What studio was this? MGM.
Okay.
Why did you not believe in them? You didn't believe in Ryan Gosling? You didn't believe in Phil Miller and Chris Lloyd? What the fuck is wrong with you?
They saw Rocky and they went, that's a March movie.
It's not, though. This should have been a summer movie. I don't get it. Like, you know, when, like, so last year, a lot of people were saying something similar about, like, Mickey 17. But no, I got that. That movie isn't a summer movie. It's was good.
Yeah.
But, like, you know it's not going to compete with, you know, the big summer blockbusters. This could and should have. And it feels like a disservice to put it out now. But I don't know. We should get into spoilers because we're already fucking derailed. But we need to rate it first.
I'm trying to debate if it should go higher. My gut's telling me like a 7.5.
That's where I'm at too, but like the strongest 7, like a 7.8 even.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't want to go to 8 just because like something's stopping me. But if I am gonna say 7.5, it's a fucking strong 7.5.
It's a real solid.
Yeah.
Solid 7.5.
Rock solid?
Rocky solid. Yep.
Rocky Road. All right. We're getting into spoilers now though, but in case you couldn't tell, this is a recommendation. We both really enjoyed this movie, and I think it's for pretty much anybody, except for maybe if you read the book and really loved the book. Maybe not for you, ironically. But
never is.
This is a crowd pleaser, but it's not stupid. I mean, the science of the science fiction is a little stupid at times. We'll get into that. But it's like, it's not trying, like, this isn't hard science fiction. Like, something like, I guess The Martian, although The Martian does derail a little bit near the end, but like they're not trying to super explain a lot of the science. They lightly explain it, but on the scale of science fiction, this is more entertainment than science fiction.
Yeah.
And so it's a crowd pleaser. You'll have a good time. There's good acting. There's characters you actually care about. The effects, we already lightly mentioned that with puppetry versus CGI. One of the best looking movies I can remember seeing in recent history. It looked great. At no point I was like, oh, that effect didn't hold up at all. I thought everything about it looked great.
No, it definitely looked great. I think I have a friend that wants to see this, and if we do see it, I think I might try to catch it in IMAX if I can.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
See how that looks there.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that'll look even better.
Yeah.
It was made for IMAX.
Okay. So that's what we had to think. We're going to get into spoilers now, so if you don't want anything spoiled, you should click away. Go watch it. Watch some of our TikToks. We're on TikTok. Go watch those. Come back and we can talk about it then. But don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Also, leave us a comment, review, whatever. Thanks, guys. Bye. So, spoilers. Yeah, so, okay, if you haven't seen it, obviously, like I said, he goes into space because there's this mysterious substance in space that eats something, whatever stars are made of, I guess. Light. It eats energy and farts it out. And
Something like that.
It's covering the stars, all stars that we can see, that we are aware of in this galaxy, I guess, in the universe. No, it goes beyond the galaxy.
Yeah.
It seems to be eating and dissipating, dying these stars. But there's one star that it isn't seeming to get any dimmer. So, on a fucking whim, we decide to send 3 astronaut scientists, people, to this star just to see what's going on. It's like, it vaguely reminded me of the Interstellar plan, except for even less sensible. Because they're just like, just go see what the fuck's going on over there.
Well, listen, you heard them. The alternative is to sit here and do nothing. Because there's no other plans.
There is no other ideas.
There is this random ass star, or we die.
Yeah, we couldn't just send scientists like to go study the shit right here in our solar system. Hey, we have to go 11 light years away or whatever.
Listen, 11 light years away, that's just easy. We just need the fuel for that.
Yeah.
But to get to Venus, it's real hot over there.
And they actually, hold on. They don't even have to go over there to study the shit. Guess what? They found it on their planet, and they're studying it. But the one guy that's really making progress studying it, we're going to send him 11 light years away, where he's going to be asleep the whole way and won't be able to study it at all.
Hey. First off,
I don't
know how long it would take that ship to travel the 11 light years, whatever, you know.
Almost, I think it's like 11.6 is what it ended up being, because they say it's near, the spaceship is near light speed.
Oh, okay.
I think it was 11.6 years or something.
So then that's, yeah, all right, that's fine then. You could have just woken him up and he might have gone crazy or something. You know.
I don't know. I was really expecting a plot twist to see why those people died. Nothing, they just died in transit.
Yeah, they gave Rocky's crew way more of an explanation.
Yeah.
His crew.
Yeah, like so the Rocky species, I'm forgetting what they're called.
No idea. No, they're like from Arid, I think.
That was Iridians. Iridians, I think he calls them. They are more intelligent than humans, but they've got some blind spots due to their chemical makeup. They don't notice certain things, like radiation, yet they still die from it. And which seems odd, because if you could die from it, you'd think you would be more aware of it. But anyway,
yeah,
whatever.
unless there's like no radiation on their planet. And
I guess, yeah.
As soon as they left, first time getting hit with radiation.
Yeah. So his whole spaceship full of crewmates, because there's a lot more on his ship.
Yeah.
Because it's a much bigger ship.
There's like 20 or 30 people.
I forget how many, but they all die except for him. And so he's alone, and then Ryan Gosling, his two crewmates die because reasons.
Ryan Gosling's crewmates, they're with.
And so I turned to you at a certain point because, like, during one of the flashbacks, they're like, everybody gets to pick their way of dying.
Yeah.
And so I start thinking, like, oh, so they already completed the mission, and so this is a gut punch because he's doing all of this for no reason, because they already got the evidence and sent it back or whatever, and then killed themselves, and his choice to die was to just go back to sleep forever, but it didn't work, and he woke up and forgot that happened. That's what I was thinking, which is a fun plot, not fucking what happened at all.
That's real interesting, because I never thought any of that for a second, but I see the connections.
And so I was just like, because she was like saying like, oh, I want to take like some poison mixed with heroin. And so I'm like,
she just wanted a hot shot of heroin.
Yeah. And then, so I was just like, okay, so they had like a crazy party and then just went to bed and never woke up, was what I was thinking. And nope, that's not the case. Because I was even thinking like, why is his hair grown out but theirs isn't? So I'm thinking because he was awake a lot longer, and so the hair was growing out, and then he went to sleep later.
Yeah.
No.
He was just asleep a lot longer, seemingly.
I guess maybe they died instantly. Maybe, I don't know.
The whole movie, he says a few times that he can't remember how he got on the ship.
Yeah.
Or why he's on this mission, really.
Which I was thinking, there's got to be something funky with that, because, like, why does he have amnesia?
Yeah.
That's never a plot point in these movies.
Yeah, and I can get, coming out of the thing, you might have it for a little while.
An hour.
But he wasn't coming up with anything.
Even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just kind of forgot about it because the whole Rocky relationship thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when it finally was revealed in the end that due to the high amount of energy that the alien particles that are eating the sun give off, they have if something goes wrong in the experiments that they're running on them, it's basically a bomb.
Yeah.
Just a
really super high powered bomb.
Yeah. And so it kills the entire science team that was going on this trip or potentially could go on this trip. It was like all the scientists and the backups, and now Ryan Gosling's character is the only person who can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
So he refuses to go and damns the earth, but they were never actually asking him. They were just prepping him.
Yeah.
And they drug him and sent him on. And they say we're just going to say that we had to put you in your coma early. Like, that's the story we're going to feed people. And I'm like, okay, because, long periods of travel through space, it's always the entire crew's just under or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering, like, was it just him? Because maybe you need the pilot and the engineer to get to the destination. And I figure they would have liked them to stick around for the rest of the journey until it was done. Because, you might need to fly the ship some and might need to fix some stuff.
It would still make sense for them to be asleep.
It would make way more sense. But, like, I guess I could see that. Like, clearly they had been awake for some period of time. And he wasn't.
How do you figure?
Because I didn't assume that the growth was because he was awake for some time. I assumed it was because he was asleep for so long without anyone taking care of him.
Or they could have just died, like, instantly. and they were just laying there. I guess if you're laying there for 11 years, you would have decayed more, because they were like decayed a little bit, but not
Yeah.
11 years worth.
No, it seemed kind of recent, but
Yeah.
there was no explanation, never given, never
Unless
really
they're being
explored.
preserved in their pods. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and it's not a bad thing that they don't explain it, but they don't explain it. But the reason he doesn't get an explanation or we don't get an explanation is because he never got an explanation. All of his communication home is one way.
Yeah.
Like, he never gets anything back. And then we only just at the end get to briefly see what Earth looks like now, 11 plus years later, where they said it was gonna, in 30 years, it was going to be 15 degrees cooler, but within 11 years, it's an ice age. Maybe it was just the winter. I don't know.
So, like, did it put a location up on screen?
Did it?
I don't know.
I don't think
because
so.
when I saw that, I assumed they're like in the Arctic or Antarctica because they're in a giant icebreaker cutting
Yeah.
a line through a sheet of ice in the ocean,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, it's just like, do they? Because earlier they're like,
I just figured that it was like, well, we're fucked. But it was like the Earth is already that much colder. But I'm like, how could it be? Unless their projections were just bullshit.
it would have been insane. Because like I guess I don't know what a 15-degree drop across the world would do, but like I didn't expect ice age immediately.
No, it would be 15 degrees cooler is what it would be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be an ice age.
But,
And
like-
also, it hasn't been 30 years yet, which was the estimate.
Yeah, but like it just seemed like
Unless
they had
it
to go
was.
to the
Actually,
Arctic.
maybe it was, because he sent the pods.
Oh,
How
so it
long
had to
did-
go another 11 years back,
Yeah,
assuming
so it could have been 22 years.
unless
later.
they can go faster. But like it's
Why could they?
But they were using that one thing as the fuel, so
Let's just say it's like 23 years later.
yeah.
Guesstimate there. It still hasn't been 30 years.
Yeah, let's say it's like a 10-degree drop. That still seems
Blizzards!
It seems
Ooh.
insane.
It's
Sheets of
the
ice.
day after tomorrow.
See, I
is
just
what it fucking looked like.
assumed that they had to go to like they were in the Arctic or something or Antarctica.
why?
They find out that there's another organism on a planet on
Nearby,
the
yeah.
planet nearby there that is actually eating them, and so they take a sample, make it so that it can survive around Venus, and send it
Nitrogen
back.
resistant.
Yeah, and they send it back so that it can be replicated on Earth, and they can build enough, or they can produce enough of it to stop the sun from slowly dying.
Yeah.
So, like, I figure either they got to go to Antarctica or there to have enough land for that, however much they need to produce, or maybe because there's some need for the natural cooling of that area from, like, these things give off a lot of heat, or
Maybe it
they
was
use
just
a lot of
winter.
energy. Or 10 degrees is crazy.
I could
But my other thing was, because earlier they were on the aircraft carrier doing the experiments, and I'm like, oh, I guess Antarctica would be the most remote place you could have these things blow up.
Yes.
It's like, because you're basically, like, if you're, well, it's the parasites, so we don't even know if the parasites, like, explode. So I have no idea if there's any real danger, because that was the whole thing about the aircraft carriers. You had to be on that in case the sun-killing particles
yeah.
explode, because they're basically small but highly powerful bombs.
Yeah, they're hydrogen bombs.
So putting a whole mass of them together is just like a floating nuke.
Yeah.
But
They
these other
describe
ones, I don't know.
the amount of the bombs
Yeah.
to be enough to destroy all of California. Is how
I
they
mean,
put it.
we saw when the science team was destroyed,
Yeah.
and I missed the very beginning of the explosion, but I saw the blast and such.
Yeah. A great effect,
it-
by the way.
it-
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it caught me completely off guard there too.
Yeah.
But they said, what was it? It was supposed to be like a nanoliter.
I don't
of-
even remember.
I think it was supposed to be a
I
nanoliter
thought they
of
just
the
gave
stuff.
him like one of the little guys.
They might have, but I thought they said it was supposed to be like a nanoliter of them,
Yeah.
and they gave him like a millimeter, and that was the that was just complete destruction.
Yeah. Yeah. Insane. And I mean, they even demonstrate, like, we just shot some at this giant ton of metal
Yeah,
and just instantly.
instantaneous melts to liquid.
And then they walk right into the room, which is fucking hilarious. It's like, yeah, it's fine in here.
No, it's like, I was like, oh, I guess maybe this like super chamber like cools it down the entire room insanely quickly, and you can step in. Like when they clearly step in, the molten metal is still molten.
Yeah, like I said, the science, it's pop science fiction. It's popcorn, but it's not stupid enough to be super distracting. It is just a little silly once you talk about it.
Honestly, the silliest moment for me and the most distracting, even though it was for like 1 second, was what was the black guy's name? Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, when they're like, when Ryan goes with the Carl and he's like, Carl, do we have an expense account? And he's like, no, we don't, but I do.
Yeah.
And he was like, they go shopping together.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Carl.
Do you have any coupons? The government doesn't need coupons. What government?
All of them.
So stupid, but hilarious. That's the kind of stuff that if you're a fan of a really serious like science fiction novel, that's probably pissing you off.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh.
See, that is why it is always a better idea to go from the adaptation to the source material.
Sure.
You'll be less pissed off.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what made you laugh the most. What made me laugh the most was just, remember Fantastic Four First Steps? How Johnny Storm just translated that language like that?
Oh, yeah.
We did it again. I was just like, how the fuck did he do all this?
No, that was great. Because it was like, I understood the thought, and I've always, like, you see that sort of thing in stories all the time.
Yeah.
Where two cultures meet each other,
Yeah.
and two people from the cultures have to spend a ton of time together translating the language somehow, and they work it out.
Maybe it was just
Eventually-
supposed to be a lot longer than it seemed.
I assume it had
Yeah.
to be something like that. It was just funny the way it started to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like you have to have... I feel like with those stories of, like, the two communities coming in, the two people have to come up with a
Yeah.
understanding how to communicate with each other. You start with, like, similar objects.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, tree.
Yeah.
That tree. Then
Yeah.
you say your word, and it's like, oh, okay, I get that. That's it.
Yeah.
But like, he starts. They show
Clock.
each other clocks.
And it's like, how would he know what the fuck that is?
But I'm like, okay.
And also, time out. He goes like, he's clock, and then goes, you see by sonar, obviously. I'm like, how do you know that? We just saw that because we saw from the alien's POV. You didn't. I guess he was like, I'm having a hard time seeing your face. No eyes. I'm like, how do you know he doesn't have eyes? I thought the bluish weird things
I thought
were
that was
eyes
going
at
to be an eye
first.
too.
And so I was like, how the fuck did you figure that out?
And I mean, it still kind of is, but it's just,
He made a
sonar.
lot of guesses.
a lot of guesses. I guess the creature's super smart. I'm supposed to understand all that because, like, he
Oh,
literally
yeah.
builds the little bridge and understands from just tiny bits of analysis. Oh, that this creature, is in this suit
Yeah.
and needs this. They only specify oxygen, but that's clearly not the exact composition of our air.
Sure.
So he had to get the entire complex composition of our air
Yeah.
right. To
And they
make it-
recreate his Earth on their planet,
Yeah.
which was crazy.
Yeah. Seriously.
And
I
then
thought they just found like
a planet that they both could coexist on was what I was
well, at
thinking.
least one that he could coexist on, and what's his face could go visit.
Yeah.
Rocky could go visit.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was Rocky's home world at first.
Yeah. I was definitely confused when it first was happening. I was like, what is going on? But what also confused me is, like, so finally Ryan Gosling convinces Rocky to let him onto his ship, because the whole time Rocky's on his ship or they're in the tube.
Yeah.
And then so Rocky goes, okay, and builds him a suit to go visit his spaceship. I'm like, Ryan has a suit. Why did you make him a little glass suit? You already had a spacesuit this whole time.
They said something about his environments. It's like it's super hot in there or something. I think they were trying to allude to that our human spacesuits couldn't handle his ship's
I
environments.
feel like a spacesuit could, but okay.
I mean, to an extent, yeah, I would think so. Like, they gotta handle some extreme
Yeah.
temperatures and heat. I don't know what exactly it could be in there, but that seemed like what they were alluding to there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. The science is whatever. But it's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah.
It tugs at your heartstrings. It legitimately, I thought Rocky actually did die.
I was so convinced that he wasn't gonna die, and then they really got me for a
Yeah.
while there.
You know?
It's just he tried so hard to bring Rocky back. I realized, oh no, he's coming back.
Yeah.
But
At
like,
that point, once I saw that he had built his own little world again, or like his little bubble, I was like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
like when he was walking down the hall and then he turns and looks and he was like, oh. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's dead. And then he's like in the bubble. I'm like, no, he's not dead. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even in the bubble for a little bit afterwards, I was like, wait, did he actually die? Are we actually sticking with this?
Yeah.
And then he just keeps trying things, keep talking to him. I'm like, okay, no, we're good.
I love, too, how he's just like, I tried everything I could think of to help him. I gave him a heat lamp.
I gave him a heat lamp.
And that's it. That was the one thought I had.
That's what I'm saying. It's hot on that ship. You know?
Yes, yeah. I don't know. Didn't put in much thought beyond that. I gave him a heat lamp and just let him sleep. That was also... I love Ryan Gosling. He's a very good actor. But the one moment that I broke immersion in this movie was when Rocky, like, is finally better and gets into his little ball. And Ryan Gosling's still asleep against, the igloo.
Yeah.
And Rocky comes over and taps him awake. And he goes, oh, no, Rocky. Just give me one more minute. Rocky! It was that... I bet there was 10 better takes. I don't know why the fuck they went with that one. It was so bad. Like, Ryan Gosling is a great actor. That was not a good take. I don't know what happened there.
Listen, it was the end of the day. We had to get some things done. It's time to move on. We had the movie made.
I also love how, like, the first thing he did when he got the shears was shave his beard but leave the mustache and have long hair. Wish he had that look the rest of the movie. It was great.
I really thought he was going to keep
a hippie in space.
Nope, just had to go back to his usual shit.
Yeah. He had his first flashback, remembered what he was supposed to look like, and did it. But, yeah, a fun time, great visuals, fun alien, different. Reminiscent, like I said, kind of the robots from Interstellar, but not enough to be, like, copycat at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fairly original. Even though it's a similar plot that we've seen a bunch, I thought that they did it in a fun and unique way. And yeah, it's a good time. It's a feel-good movie. It's a little long for a popcorn movie, but I don't care about it.
There were several moments I thought this movie was ending, and then it just kept on going. And I wasn't mad when it kept on going. I was just surprised.
When we were an hour and a half in, and I checked the clock and went, there's an hour left, I was like, really? And then I was happy with all of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it's too long, but I think I'm just, like, talking for the average audience here. I think maybe some people will be, like, daunted by that runtime, but I think it's worth it. And I don't think you even notice it after a certain point.
Yeah, just a couple of moments just seem like it's ending, and it doesn't. But, like, you're not mad after that. Still good material still.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree, because when he starts going home, you're like, all right, we're wrapping up, and then he's like, I gotta go save Rocky, and you're like, oh, okay, sure.
I was like, wow, we had a clean ending here.
And then, you know what? I thought Rocky was dead then, too, because I thought Rocky had lied to him, and he gave him all of his stuff, and then he gave himself just enough to, like, get out of sight, and then was drifting for the past whatever.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah. Or maybe even not dead, but, like, I thought he could have planned that, and he was just waiting to die. But then they didn't address that, and then apparently now Ryan Gosling's just fluent in Rockies and can just hear...
Well, see, he already translated that much language.
And he just knows it now.
He can communicate with the young ones.
Then again, Rocky always was fluent in English.
Pretty much, yeah.
Everyone's going to go, what's that word? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Because the computer just went one way. It wasn't translating back.
Which is funny, because I always assumed that it was supposed to be translating back.
It never did.
That's the only way it makes any sense. And it has all the sounds. But
But
yeah,
never
you're
started
right.
doing that.
Hey, that would add an extra half hour.
Yeah. It's too much runtime. We don't need it. We can let it be assumed.
Yeah.
Also, when he gifted Rocky the laptop, I'm like, it's going to die in a day. And then what? He's like, it's got all of the information that the humans have.
No, you see, Rocky's just gonna wire some shit out in the ship. And,
find his own power source for it.
No, they've got the technology in Rocky's culture.
So that's what we had to think. Once again, we do recommend it, even if we just made fun of it for the past however many minutes.
That means we love it.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
We did. I mean, it goes without saying, but the acting is good. Ryan Gosling is awesome. He's running on one line. I know the guy who played Rocky, I forget his name, James Ortiz, I think. He's not really an actor, but he was awesome. Sandra Hüller, she was in Anatomy of a Fall. I was like, I know I recognize that name. She's
Siobhan.
yeah. So you've got a good cast here, a really good cast. Lionel Boyce as Carl. Never seen him in anything before, but he was awesome. He's in The Bear, apparently. Just a good cast, great CGI, great storytelling. The directing, the humor of Phil Lord and Chris Miller is just so missed. I'm so glad it's back. They're such great filmmakers. I don't know why they haven't been making more movies. Yeah, and I'm also I'm a sucker for Ryan Gosling. I would watch pretty much anything he does at this point. So all around, it's a really good time. I literally recommend it to anybody except for maybe fans of the book. So that's what we had to think. What do you guys think, though? Let us know in the comments below. And also, don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and watch us on TikTok, you dumb bitches. Thanks. Bye.
I'm sure that'll reel him in.
And I'll fuck over there.